For the downloadparlor.com, I'm Scott Less. Welcome to the tour bus as we found our way to Canada today. We're in Vancouver. Looking forward to an amazing show with Killswitch Engage. To my right, Jesse Leach, frontman.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, hello. And to my left, Adam D, tremendous guitar player. Hello, my friend.
Ew. Hi.
First of all, I got to congratulate both of you guys because the album is ridiculous of how good it is. It's some of the great guitar playing on this album. Disarm the Descent is fantastic. So congratulations, whatever that means from me.
Thank you.
and of course, you are the man behind the glass as well, the producer of the record. Tell me about getting back in the band with the guys, with a lead singer you've worked with in the past, but for the first time in 10 years, back with Killswitch.
Ooh, that guy?
That guy.
He's all right, I guess. No, it was a piece of cake. We were all just really stoked to be making music, So just kind of felt natural. We're like, hey, let's just do this, and we did it.
And that explains everything, just now. And of course, vocally, the album not only is as brutal as it could be, but there's so much melody as well. So as a frontman, when you're sitting there writing the songs and then you're going into the production to make this thing happen, how do you have kind of this bipolarness of I'm going to scream my lungs out here and then I'm going to kill everybody with the melody?
Well, that's what Killswitch does. So for me, it was just a matter of bringing my own style, but also, knowing who I'm writing for. It's a different beast than, say, Times of Grace or my other band, The Empire Shall Fall. And it's just one of the things that I have a chemistry with these guys. I have a chemistry with Adam. So like Adam says, it just kind of comes out of us naturally.
And 10 years between the last full-length recording with Killswitch to the present. And how was it different this time going back in the studio? Or was it kind of like, this is just like it happened yesterday?
No, much different, thankfully. 10 years ago was terrible. I was not a very good singer. I didn't have confidence in who I was as a vocalist and person. And these past 10 years have been very gracious to me as far as like helping me craft my voice, know my instrument better, and just sort of become a man and not a snot-nosed little punk kid that I was 10 years ago.
I don't know anybody who would ever call you that, man.
Yeah, whatever. I'm calling myself that.
I call you a pussy.
Yeah. Or that.
And now, Adam, I mean, the riff master of this album, and of course the other Killswitch albums, did you just have a backlog of amazing riffs that you just go back to and say, wow, I remember when I wrote this? Or is everything just new and organic as you're sitting there writing the songs?
No, there's no backlog. There's lots of logs, though, that I end up tossing away. I just write parts, and then some of them are terrible, and some of them are acceptable.
Is that where we are now?
Yes.
Acceptable?
Yes, we are at an acceptable level.
Because I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. Of course, talking to the guys from Killswitch Engage, on tour supporting their new album, Disarm the Descent, and produced by Adam D, and a band that comes from this, I'm going to call it a metal mecca right now, Springfield, Mass, where some other bands that you have worked with producing are kind of following the coattails of Killswitch and making some heavy, hardcore, melodic albums.
Yeah, I guess so. There's a bunch of stuff coming out of Massachusetts in general. I wouldn't even say the Springfield area. But, yeah, lots of stuff from their northeast area thing. Yeah.
And what is it about the town that you guys, you play music in and grew up in and write music that would dictate the kind of metal that we hear out of there?
I was just bored. I don't know.
Boredom solves all problems.
I don't know, man. I just think certain bands in a certain place at a certain time and things happen. It's just kind of weird how it worked out.
What do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, I think I totally agree with that. I mean, look at past quote-unquote scenes like Seattle and, at the LA scene, like it just right place at the right time. A group of people just heard certain bands that influenced us, for example. I mean, the bands that we were in before, he was in Aftershock, I was in a band called Corinne, Mike D was in a band called Overcast. We're all sort of part of the same scene, playing the same small clubs, and it just kind of happened. You listen to hardcore music, you listen to metal, and we all just started to like, hey, let's put these two together. And bands just started doing that, and that's kind of how it just happened.
And the last time I caught Killswitch Engage live on tour is that you guys were playing live at the Mayhem Fest. Of course, a massive festival, 3 stages, thousands of people. Sometimes you're, a good, half football field away from the pit. Then you guys are coming out on this tour where you're playing cool, intimate rooms like the Commodore. Which do you prefer?
Oh, the clubs, absolutely. Festivals are just always kind of a pain in the butt, the organization, and then, of course, the bigger shows, like, just not really being able to interact with the crowd. It's just this big blob, so I love being close up. I love being able to yell at the people, and, it's It just feels more like a hangout session. You know what I mean? I like that.
And when it comes to metal, I mean that's pretty important because you want to have that constant kind of feeling from the crowd as the pit descends upon the front row, and then you guys just play.
Me personally, I definitely feed off the crowd, and I think seeing the crowd feeding off of us is just like this symbiotic like party. It's awesome. Yeah.
And how do you feel about playing festivals versus playing an intimate setting? Is that about the same feeling for you, Jesse?
No, I think I agree with what Adam just said right now. I think to me it's all about the audience. You could be in a small club, and if people aren't feeling it, the vibe isn't there. It doesn't matter. You could stand in front of 10,000 people that are really switched on, and it'd be one of the best gigs we've ever had. So to me, it's all about the fans, all about the audience. If it wasn't for their energy, we wouldn't be able to give as much as we give. Because when you see people singing along, you see the emotion, you see people having a good time in the pit, taking care of each other. Like that's the stuff that just really helps us connect with them. Because that's what it's all about, that interaction. Without that, it's just you're just a rock and roll douchebag on stage going, "Hey, everybody, I'm gonna come down and see you."
I hate the whole mentality of like, "Yo, check me out."
Yeah.
Check
how sick we are. Because it's all about the fans. They're the ones that pay our bills, is the ones that support us, so it's all about them.
And I got to ask you guys a question that I kind of consider a prequel to the newest Killswitch record, which is the album that you guys worked together on, Times of Grace, The Hymn of a Broken Man, which, as a fan of Killswitch, I listen to that record, I can definitely hear the influence. Of course, it's not a Killswitch record, but as you're putting that album together, what were your feelings at getting back with Jesse to kind of write and record that album?
Well, of course, Killswitch is doing this thing with Howard, so it wasn't really like, we need to do this as something that's supposed to be Killswitch. That was definitely its own animal. And Jesse and I have been friends for, 13, 14 years? I don't know.
3 months easy.
More than that.
So it's like, I always knew we had that musical connection together, so when I needed somebody to help me write lyrics and help me sing some of those songs, he was the first guy I thought of naturally. Just that, I guess it was what it was, and it was a cool thing. We both needed to make that record at that time of our lives. Yeah.
I think it's an excellent record. I mean, it kind of, I guess, paved the way of where you are sitting today.
Yeah, I think, not intentionally, but yeah, absolutely. Just as far as getting back in the studio with Adam, working with him, and then being able to get back out on the road again, falling in love with that, yeah, it definitely helped warm me up and sort of unknowingly prepare me to come back to Killswitch, yeah.
And as connected as you are to the metal scene, out touring in support of a fantastic new metal record and of course producing some of the upcomers, is there some metal that you've heard that maybe some of us haven't heard that you could open our eyes to?
I don't know. I don't really listen to that much metal, to be honest with you.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Really?
I'm dead serious.
So what do you listen to?
Old school, though. Old school.
Yeah, no, I listen to a lot of newer, I just like fast stuff lately. That's all I listen to. But I listen to everything. I think that's important. Every musician shouldn't limit themselves to just one specific genre. If you like it, you like it. And I'm just a music fan, so.
Is that for you too, Jesse?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We're a metal band. We have our roots in metal, absolutely, but it's not like the only thing to listen to. In fact, it's rare that we listen to metal. And if we do, we kick it old school with, Cannibal Corpse and Tombs, Carcass, bands like that, just at the gates, bands we grew up listening to. But yeah, especially Adam and I, we love a lot of, indie rock and experimental stuff. We're both big Sigur Rós fans. It depends. Just on this bus, you'll hear anything from Lionel Richie to, honestly,
Wow.
to the Pogues, depending on
Cattle decapitation.
Yeah, cattle decapitation.
Of course, you gotta have
that. Yeah, oh yeah. So it's just
Straight into Enya.
It's important though. I think that's really important. It helps with our style, and it also helps you not get burnt out on metal. You look at a band like, for example, Gojira. I'm a big fan of those guys. They love Bjork. They're big fans of Bjork, and I heard them in an interview talking about that. It's like I can totally relate to that kind of stuff. And look at a band like Gojira, who is doing something creative and pushing the boundaries of metal. So I think it's all about that. Just you got to keep an open mind.
Very cool. Well, the new album is absolutely tremendous. Thank you guys for your time today. Adam D, lead guitar player, Jesse Leach, lead singer. Thank you guys, and best of success on the rest of the tour.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you.
Right
Yes.
on. For the downloader Parlor.com, I'm Scott Less. Welcome and goodbye from the tour bus.
Yeah.